What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Chris B. Daniels back at it again, show and talk. So I know we were supposed to do another episode of Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction, because right now I'm actually on season 3. I haven't started it yet. I just been so busy lately between working mad hours, doing podcasts and lives, you know what I'm saying? And shout outs to the Retro 4 and the Global Minds podcast. But yeah, that's what I've been up to lately, ladies and gentlemen. But today we're gonna talk about another video game. And this game, wow, back when it first came out in 1990, and I'm sure some of you may know where I'm going with this. It was a hit. But then when it came to the consoles, it was a lost cause. It was actually my first video review here on YouTube a couple of years back. Um, Back then, the quality of those videos were lacking because I didn't have any kind of editing done. I just recorded and put it out there. I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm still, trying to get it down now. I feel like my skills still ain't where I want it to be. The still images and everything, while it's okay, I need more than that. That's what I feel like anyway, but we'll get there eventually. But anyway, the game I'm talking about is Pit Fighter. So if any of you see my review from back then, you already know how I feel about the game. I just wanted to, revisit this game because I don't know, I just like bashing it. It's pretty fun. But the arcade version of the game wasn't too bad because I got Midway's Greatest Treasures, the game on PS2, and that's one of the games that's on there. You know what I'm saying? But the Super Nintendo version, unfortunately, I have that as well. As you know, like I said, if you've seen my first video. And yo, I gotta say, this game pissed me off. It pissed me off good because it's damn near impossible. There's no difficulty level, but they do say, from what I understand, the difficulty level is based on which character you pick. If you pick Buzz, it's the easiest difficulty. If you pick Ty, it's medium, and if you pick Kato, it's the hardest. But either way, I was still getting my ass whooped on all 3 difficulties. So for me, the thing about Pit Fighter, there's no options. There's no like modes or nothing like that. It's just you start in the game, you pick whoever. You know what I'm saying? And then it doesn't even have all the characters on the Super Nintendo version. So you're fighting the same characters over and over and over again until you get to the boss fight. You know what I'm saying? You do got the grudge matches though, I'll say that. And there's no like other music. The same song plays throughout the entire game. The only time you don't hear the song is on the main title screen. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like when you boot this game up, it has no like credits to it. You know how you boot a game up and it'll show like all the companies that had something to do with the game. The developers, the publishers, and all of that. It's none of that. You just boot the game up, and the title screen is right there. Now, this game came out on Super Nintendo back in 1991. So I feel like maybe I can give it the benefit of the doubt for that. But everything else, there's no excuse. Because in 91, come on, son. You had Mario World. You had F-Zero. You had Pilot Wings. And you had a bunch of other games. You know what I'm saying? That came out in 91. And then you had this bullshit that came out. So there's no like technique, no skill involved or required for this game. You're just pressing buttons. It's just button mashing. You know what I'm saying? So you're lucky. Now, if you manage to beat this game for Super Nintendo, then I take my hat off to you because there was just no way. I don't even think my brothers beat this game. And one of my brothers, he was like a video game prodigy back in the day. He sucks now though, but back in the day. Anyway. But now the story how I came across this game for the first time, it's really not, all that uncommon, because back in the day in the 90s, we used to have this local pawn shop that sold Super Nintendo games and traded games. So the way they operated, if you wanted to trade games with them, you had to bring in 2 games to get 1. And for some reason or another, we saw a Pit Fighter in there and we picked it up. Traded 2 of our games where we could have done anything else with them. I could have wiped my ass with them. You know what I'm saying? They would have been better off. But we traded 2 games for this bullshit, this piece of shit cartridge. You know what I'm saying? So took the game home because we never played the Super Nintendo version before, mind you. Well, me personally, I haven't played the game before, period. My 2 older brothers had in the arcade, but me, nah, I never played it before that time. So bought it home, thought it was gonna be amazing. And turns out the game was shit. So there's really no weapons you can use in the game. You know what I'm saying? The crowd doesn't push you back in like it does in the arcade version. Like, the game is so different from the arcade. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say this. Back in 1990, when the game came out, it predated Street Fighter 2, right? And then this was one of the first games that had digitized graphics as far as, fighters. I believe this was actually the first game like that. But, the first fighting game. They used digitized characters. But as soon as Street Fighter 2 came out, this game was criminally ignored. And for good reason. But if you want to play this game, you can find it on Lukey Games, Lukey.com, you know what I'm saying, for cheap. I actually picked it up because I just wanted to make fun of it, you know what I'm saying? And it's still a part of my collection. Like, if I ever need something to warm the house up or the apartment or whatever, then I'll just use that cartridge. You know what I'm saying? But nah. But yeah, again, if you want to play this game, play it at your own risk. I'm talking about the Super Nintendo version. I've never played the Genesis version, you know what I'm saying, or the other versions, you know what I'm saying? Because this is one of those games that came out on pretty much everything back in the day. But the Super Nintendo version was the only version I played up until, a few years later. But yeah, Pit Fighter. And if I got to give this game a score, I'm gonna give it a positive 0 out of -10. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my review for Pit Fighter. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about that. So I'll be back with y'all again with another game review and how I came across it. You know what I'm saying? So have a good night, and I will talk to y'all later. Oh yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. All right. Peace.
The feeling is mutual. Come in, take a seat, share your thoughts with each, and preach it when you speak, so we can share kinetic energy throughout the brainwaves to keep us balanced out and all on the same stage.